The Smash Bros. Series is arguably the most well-known Nintendo franchise, and for a good reason too. I think it's fair to say everyone's had some sort of interaction with Super Smash Bros. Whether it's playing Elite Smash every night until you get arthritis, or just watching a video on who can make the Hyrule Temple jump, you've all had some sort of exposure to the Smash Bros. Series. And if you really haven't, give it a try. It's genuinely the best game to have on the Switch. But after the massive success we've seen with Smash Ultimate, myself along with many other Nintendo fans have been worried for the next game in the series. Smash Ultimate did the unthinkable with their Everyone Is Here campaign. They didn't just reintroduce every character from previous games, but added over 20 more new fighters. And on top of that, they brought back almost every stage, item, and song from the previous games, making Ultimate the Smash game of all time. You see why I'm worried now? How the hell is Nintendo gonna top that? And to make that even worse, the guy who made Smash Bros is now too busy being a YouTuber, but we'll get more into that later. Before we go ahead and talk about Smash 6, let's take a brief look at the franchise's history. In a nutshell, the Smash series was created by Masahiro Sakurai and Satoru Iwata. It was originally called Dragon King, the fighting game, and functioned virtually the same as the Smash Bros we know and love today. After a bit of development time, Sakurai decided to use Nintendo characters instead of these guys. Thus, Smash 64 was created. Due to the recent success of Smash 64, Nintendo pushed the next Smash game with a very tight time constraint, and in only 13 months, Smash Bros. Melee was released to the public. Years later, the black sheep of the franchise Brawl came out, and shortly after, the underwhelming Smash 4 was released. Back in 2018, Smash Ultimate was announced for the Nintendo Switch, and this game broke the internet multiple times. Selling over 30 million copies, Smash Ultimate was the most successful Smash Bros. Game ever, and it evolved from a Nintendo crossover game into an overall celebration of gaming. Unfortunately, all great things come to an end because Sakurai stated multiple times that he's done with video game development and would rather spend his later years in life with his family, which is completely understandable. This man worked his ass off for over 20 years to give us one of the greatest gaming experiences ever. Unfortunately, that means the future of the Smash series is in complete darkness right now. Obviously, there's a lot more to the history of Smash Bros, but I was just skimming the surface. Every new release in the Smash series has added something notable to the franchise. Smash 64 was the game that started it all. Melee has one of the strongest competitive communities in all of gaming. Brawl created the masterpiece we know as Subspace Emissary. Smash 4 exists. And Ultimate was made to be the grand finale of this 20-year-long series. But as we've seen with the MCU, once you make a grand finale, you do not continue. But money exists, and we all know how much Nintendo loves money, so a next Smash game is bound to happen. With more and more news about the Switch 2 coming up, people are assuming the next Nintendo console is going to come out within a year, and we'll actually get our first look at the Switch 2 this February Direct or sometime during the summer. So I think it's safe to say the next Smash Bros. Game should come out sometime around 2025 for the Switch 2. I have absolutely no evidence to back that claim up, it's just an educated guess, don't quote me on anything I just said. But I do think we'll get Smash 6 within the next few years. But finally, let's actually talk about Smash 6. I think the series can go in one of three different directions. The first and lamest option is we get a port. Smash Ultimate Deluxe will add a few stages, characters, and game modes. But I'm not even going to consider this as an option, mostly because I just don't want it to happen. But I really don't see Nintendo actually going this route. The next two options are a lot more likely to happen. They could either do what Ultimate did by adding as many characters as possible but on a much greater scale, or they can pull a Mortal Kombat and do a complete reboot of the franchise, starting everything from scratch. Let's talk about that first option because it's a little easier to explain. After getting an insane amount of content in Smash Ultimate, it'll feel like a slap in the face to just cut half the roster out. But with so many franchises already in Smash, how are you supposed to expand it? Licensing issues and all that boring stuff aside, I think Smash will take its celebration of gaming status a lot more literal and invite as many gaming icons possible to the Smash Bros. Series. I'm talking Master Chief, Kratos, Scorpion, Sackboy. Anyone you can think of, they'll be invited to Smash. Indie characters too, like Shantae, Hollow Knight, and Sans. Obviously, it'll still be mainly Nintendo focused, meaning characters like Waluigi, Bandana D, and Dracula would see their way into Smash 6. There'll be more stages, more items, and more everything. This game will essentially be Ultimate 2.0, uniting all of gaming together. But that's pretty optimistic of me, right? As cool as it would be for this to happen, due to more reasons than I can count, it won't. And honestly, it might be for the better. With the roster over 100 characters, I fear Smash 6 will lose its touch by spending more dev time on quantity over quality. is something we've seen the Pokemon series do for a while now, and fans aren't happy. And the last thing I'd want is for that same thing to happen to our beloved Smash series. So, Raggins, you're telling me the Smash roster should get smaller? Yeah, kind of, but I think it might be for the best. Let me introduce you to my second idea for Smash 6. This Smash Reboot will feature a roster of the 40 most recognizable Nintendo fighters and 15 third-party characters. But that means only the most popular characters will make the final cut, removing some fan favorites. For the sake of time, I'm not going to name every fighter in the game, but if that's a video you'd want to see, let me know in the comments. On top of those 55 fighters, there will be another 14 DLC fighters throughout the game's lifespan, adding up to a total of 69 unique fighters. And yes, I did that on purpose. This is already a pretty big roster for a fighting game, and although it's a slight downgrade from Ultimate, each character will be carefully crafted to be the perfect version of themselves. For example, Mario will be a representation of his most successful adaptations. His moveset will be highly based off of Mario Odyssey, Galaxy, and Wonder to give a modern representation of the character. And the same goes for all the other characters who feel outdated. On top of roster changes, there's one huge addition I'd like to make. I've had an issue with the Smash Ball for some time now, and before you go rip on me in the comments, hear me out. I love the Smash Ball. I think it's one of the best mechanics introduced into Smash. However, I really hate how most Final Smashes pause the entire momentum of the game just so we can watch some character-specific cutscene. They all just feel the same. I miss the old days when you were able to control Wario Man or fly around in a giant ball of lightning or become a literal fucking tank. Most Final Smashes nowadays are stripped of their personality, and it's pretty disappointing. But I may have a solution. What if we made Smash Ball and Smash Meter two separate power-ups? When you get the Smash Ball, it'll act as usual. Your character can use one of those cutscene Final Smashes and deal a hefty amount of damage. But when your Smash Meter fills up, your character will become enhanced for a short period of time. For example, Ganondorf will turn to Ganon, or Lucario will become Mega. This power-up will last for about 20 seconds and will buff a certain attribute of the character, that being their damage dealt, speed, or just a general well-rounded buff. Hopefully, this will be a better way of incorporating super attacks into the gameplay flow of Smash, because I don't know about you guys, but the Smash Ball just isn't cutting it for me. Another feature that I'd want to see in the next Smash game is more skins. I don't care if they're unlockables or paid DLC, just having that option will go such a long way. And considering how much of a whore Nintendo is for money, I'm surprised they haven't done some sort of Battle Pass or DLC skins. And no, Mii Fighter costumes don't count. The final thing this Smash Reboot needs is a proper story. Subspace Emissary was a masterpiece. Say what you want about the gameplay, but seeing all your favorite Nintendo characters interact with each other in these beautifully rendered cutscenes was a dream come true. Keep in mind, this was made in 2006. I can only imagine what they could do 20 years later. This Smash Reboot will feature a full-fledged campaign mode, where we explore the complex world of Smash and band together to take down a greater enemy. I'm not gonna put together a story, just read like a Smash fanfiction or something. I'm sure it'll be similar enough. I do know I have a bit of a bias here, but Subspace Emissary is largely the reason I fell in love with this series so much. It gave every single character personality, even the ones I knew nothing about. I understand these cutscenes take a long time to create, but having a Subspace 2.0 would be incredible. Because I'm sorry, World of Light, you're trash. The Smash Reboot may not be what people want, but I think it's best for the series. That being said, whether they choose to reboot the whole franchise or just expand upon Ultimate, I'm sure the Smash community will be happy either way. Because as we all know, the Smash community is a very kind-hearted and understanding group of people. But let me know what you want to see most in the next Smash game. That being a character, game mode, mechanic, or whatever else you'd like to see. I know this video was extremely different from my usual Pikmin content, but Smash Bros. Is one of my favorite Nintendo games of all time, so expect to see more of that sometime in the future. Thank you all for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.